I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, I feel hopeless. Sometimes in life just totally fucking sucks ass. And sometimes you have to go through a really long, really rough patch of things just fucking sucking. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're in college, or trying to build the business or the career that you want, you know is going to take you a decade or longer in order to get to the place where you really want to be. So you know there's going to be a lot of sucking it up and dealing with shit that you don't want to deal with until you get to where you eventually want to go. And what I have found that pushes me through those difficult moments is to make sure that I'm doing something for my purpose and my mission in life that's something that's emotionally compelling. It's something that I really love and I really enjoy and I have a passion for. And sometimes in life you might do something for a decade of your life, and then maybe you spent 5 years before the decade that you spent working in that career field or that business getting prepared to go into that field. And then so you're like 15 years of your life you got dedicated to something, and all of a sudden you realize, I don't have the same internal enthusiasm for this that I once had. And it becomes hard to motivate yourself to even go and do the work that you know you need to do. And so you end up realizing that you sell that business or you change careers and you do something completely different. And it obviously affects your income or your ability to earn income, especially if you're starting a new business. Maybe you sold your business. Now you got money, but you're living off of your savings and you don't have any positive cash flow. So your expenses on a monthly basis are more than you're actually taking in. So you're basically eating away at your nest egg every single day until you get to the point where your revenue starts to exceed your expenses again in your business. And so I found that by doing something that's emotionally compelling, it's like when things get tough, I find myself saying, okay, if I was going to start over, I was going to do something else completely different than what I'm doing now, and I could do anything I wanted, what else would I want to do? And as long as I can't think of anything that's more emotionally compelling than what I'm doing now, I continue moving forward and taking action and finding a way to grind it out. And when you look at professional athletes or just any entrepreneur, people that have accomplished extraordinary things in their life, they find ways to grind it out. They find a way, like when you look at professional athletes, they all say the same thing. I'm just trying to get a little bit better each day. And these guys have been playing football or playing basketball or playing soccer or baseball for decades, since they were little children. And so they've been doing it for multiple decades. Repetition is the mother of skill, and that's why they're that good. But even though they've been doing it for 20, 30 years, they're still, I'm just trying to get a little bit better each day. Even the best professional athletes that are at the top of their game and that have the biggest contracts, they'll all say the same thing. I'm just trying to get a little bit better each day. I'm just trying to find a way to grind it out. And like for me, the hardest part that I've had in businesses is that when you have an idea and you get a couple of years in and it's making you a little bit of money and you can totally see where you're going to be in a couple of years, you know how much your revenue and your profit is increasing, and you still have to do the work day in and day out. And it's interesting, like one of my teachers, one of the things he was saying, he used this analogy of enlightenment. He says, on your path to enlightenment, you should think of it as like you're on a train. So once the train leaves the station, it's eventually going to get to the destination, which obviously is enlightenment. And you running around in the train in circles, running up and down the train in all the cars and stuff, it's not going to make you get there any faster. And so the only thing you can really do is sit back and find a way to enjoy the journey. And so a lot of times in life, you're not going to be able to change your circumstances. The only thing that you're going to be able to change is what things mean to you. And I've got a great quote that I want to share with you that I think is so appropriate for the topic that we're talking about. And it's a great quote by Tony Robbins, and it's about taking personal responsibility for your own success in life. And this is so important. He says, achievers tend to believe that no matter what happens, whether it's good or bad, they created it. If they didn't cause it by their physical actions, maybe they did it by the level and tenor of their thoughts. If you don't believe that you're creating your world, whether it be your successes or your failures, then you're at the mercy of circumstances. things just happen to you. You're an object, not a subject. And that's from Tony's book, Unlimited Power, pages 75 to 76. And if you haven't read any of Tony's books, I highly encourage you to read him. Because when it comes to peak performance and understanding the psychology of success, Tony is the best in the world at what he does. But at the end of the day, he's still just a man. He's just as fucked up as you or me or all the rest of us. And I've gotten to know him personally. I've gotten to know lots of other celebrities personally. And one of his mentors said something I thought was really great. He said, follow what I teach, but don't follow me too closely. And that's what you should always look at a leader. The word lead means to go first. In other words, a real leader leads by example. And so back to this email here from this, I got an email here from a viewer, and he obviously feels like things are hopeless in his life. And so with all those things I've just shared with you, he says, it's coming towards the end of a wasted year for me. Again, you've given the year the label that it's a wasted year. That's a personal choice you have made. I want you to understand that. He says, nothing meaningful to look back to in the period of 12 months that I have been living. He says, I have nothing to be happy for. He says, fuck relationships, Corey. You simply have chosen to associate this whole past year as just totally sucked and you didn't learn anything. And that's a bullshit lie. And deep down, you know it's a bullshit lie. You're just simply choosing to not acknowledge anything that's positive that's happened. You get what you focus on in life. Like when Wayne Dyer says, he says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at literally change. And so you're choosing to look at the negative things instead of you're asking shitty questions of yourself. That's your problem. You're asking really fucked up, lousy questions, so your brain has no choice but to give you shitty answers. The quality of your life is going to be in direct proportion to the quality of the questions that you consistently ask yourself. And so he says, if I had truly been a good man, would the right girl have come into my life by now? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. You're focused on a period of time. So in other words, you didn't meet the girl of your dreams in the past year, and so therefore everything sucks. Well, you have an attachment. And when you get attached to time, places, events, people, certain things or circumstances showing up in your life, you're going to be disappointed. And when you want reality to be other than it is, you suffer. That's why you're suffering right now, is because you're upset that you don't have the girl in your life, because you think a girl is going to make you happy. But the real issue here is that you're fucking miserable. He says, let's be realistic. I'm 24 and I haven't had a woman commit to me. So what? Maybe it'll happen next year. Maybe it'll happen 5 years from now. Who fucking cares? You have to work on yourself and become a great man. You need to focus on being awesome at whatever it is that you want to be awesome at in life. And the chick thing will take care of itself. And I'm telling you, man, women are not going to make you happy, dude. They'll make you happy for a little while, but at the end of the day, we're still faced with the fact that you are focused on all of the reasons why your life sucks instead of all of the reasons why you've learned all kinds of great things in the past year, and you've learned lots of great knowledge, and you've had some successes, but you've also had some failures. The idea is to see things as they are. Not worse than they are, not better than they are, but simply as they are. And that's what you're doing. You're seeing your life as worse than it really is, instead of just... And you're not focused on anything that's good, because you're choosing not to. He says, maybe my personality is just fucked. The fact of the matter is, it's always the same bitches online who end up fucking with my time. Well, stop fucking with girls that have already rejected you. And that tells me that you're probably easily messaging women on Facebook, because that's easy, because you know them, instead of having the balls to go out and meet women that are new. And so you're going to the same cesspool every day, the same watering hole, the same people. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you keep going to the same watering hole that's getting you no results now, guess what? 6 months from now, you keep going to the same girls, you're going to keep getting nowhere with them. And this is the way you're avoiding going out and meeting new women that you've never met, and they've never met you, and you know nothing about it, because you're afraid of rejection. So you tell yourself that you have to go through Facebook and go through only the people that you know, and you're getting nowhere. So the only person you have to blame is yourself. He says, I have no time anymore, Corey. I cannot talk to females online. Why should I sit there and talk to women when all I ever get in return is pain? Exactly. Get out of the fucking house and go talk to women face to face that you don't know. He says, everything I do and try for the greater good for myself and others, it gets spat back in my face. I'm fed up and I can't not be the man to chase after a girl. Exactly. Now you're talking. He says, I'm maturing, not matured. You're a work in progress. It's okay, dude. You can never stop evolving. 20 years from now, there's going to be stuff there's going to be shit you need to be working on. That's the bottom line. Life is a process of evolution. Whenever you get to the top of the mountain and you look around, you're like, wow, this is really great. And then you realize off in the distance, holy shit, there's an even fucking bigger mountain. There's an even bigger challenge to take on in life. He says, I just hate my life. It's loneliness and depression that I'm going through, but it is my duty as a man to deal with it. Exactly. You got to have personal responsibility. He says, each day passes me, it seems to get worse and worse. Maybe you should go talk to a counselor. You got to feel it to heal it. And if you keep all this shit bottled up inside, you're never going to get anywhere. What you resist persists. And so since you're choosing not to deal with the negative emotions and just stuffing them down and getting angry, you can't move past it. And so maybe you should go talk to a counselor and somebody that will be happy to listen to your problems and let you talk about them and help you deal with them in a mature way. He says, the only thing that hurts me is that when other guys my age are out there celebrating with their girlfriends. Well, I wish my mother hadn't been a psychotic schizophrenic. I wish my parents had been completely emotionally fucked up and raised by emotionally fucked up people. And that way I could have gone through high school and had healthy relationships, maybe gotten married in my early 20s and had the hunky-dory picket fence and the whole fucking bullshit happy silver spoon in your mouth story. But that wasn't my life. And I didn't sit there and go, whining about it. I grew a set of balls and I said, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm not going to be what my parents have made their lives to be. I'm going to choose to make my life the way I want it to be, even if it's the last thing I ever do. And I've spent the rest of my years since I was a child focusing on trying to be my best and create the life and the lifestyle that I wanted. And my success or my failure, it strictly lies within myself. One of the things that Don Shula said that I thought was really great, he said, the superior man blames himself. The inferior man blames others. It's a lot to think about. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several weeks to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, just download one of their free e-reader apps for whatever electronic device you want to read my book on. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters, the articles on my website, or my ebook, you can show your appreciation right now by going to my website, and on the Webia toolbar at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.